Okay, welcome back. Had a little hour break, so now we're going to continue on with lesson 23. And this is the return of the serpent wisdom, reclaiming the coil light. Okay, let's begin. They told you the serpent was sin, but it was a cessation, it was an awakening. The serpent ain't the fall, it's the rise. Okay, now we're going to break it down. The true meaning of the serpent. Long before empire turned it into a symbol of deceit, the serpent represented divine intelligence, healing, and life force energy. Every ancient culture, Kemet, Sumer, the Indus Valley, the Maya, knew the serpent as the coiled current, sleeping at the base of the spine. They called it Kundalini, Uraeus, Nahash, or the fire of Sophia. When awakened with love and reverence, this current rises up in the inner temple, through the chakras, through the spine, bringing light to every cell, every memory, every truth forgotten. We have to remember everything they try to demonize is not what it is. It's the reason why they don't want you to learn it. This is the return of the living God within the body. Remember, as people say, we are God's children, so why wouldn't we embed something from God? We inherit, correct? All right. Nothing is coincidence. Now, what did Empire do to distort this? Empire could not control those who carried serpent fire. For a soul whose energy is awake cannot be enslaved, cannot be lied to, cannot be ruled through fear. So they rewrote the story. The serpent became evil, the woman who listened became fallen, and knowledge became forbidden. They feared that if the people learned that God lived within them, the throne of the earth will crumble. So they buried the serpent wisdom beneath shame. Now, what does the serpent teach us? One, to feel without fear. Sensation is sacred. The body is divine technology. Every pulse, ache, pleasure, and shiver is a message from the source. Number two, to heal through heat. The serpent's fire burns through trauma, lineage pain, and illusion, not to harm, but to transmute. Number three, to rise in rhythm. The serpent doesn't rush, it moves when the vessel is ready, which is your body, is the vessel. Awakening is not a conquest, it's a remembrance in motion. Now, the feminine serpent. In ancient temples, the serpent goddess had many names: Wajet, Isis, Sophia, Lilith, Seraphim, Kotal, and Asherah. She was the teacher of cycles, breath, and rebirth. Her coil symbolized time itself, the eternal spiral of life returning to life. When she rises, she doesn't just lift energy, she restores memory. That's why when you begin to awaken, you may feel old emotion, dreams, or lifetimes surfacing. It's the serpent uncoiling through your story, freeing it of empire's hold. Now here's a practice for the collective. At sunrise or under moonlight, sit upright with your feet grounded. Breathe slowly from the base of your spine. Upward, visualize golden red light spiraling through you and whisper, Sacred Serpent, rise in peace. Restore what was coiled. Purify, remember, renew. My body is your temple. My breath is your path. Feel warmth build, not to control it, but to honor it. Then move your body, sway, stretch, or dance to let the current flow freely. Now, here's a closing word. Don't fear your own power. That serpent is not your enemy, it's your teacher. The same energy that birthed galaxies runs through your spine. When you stop fighting it, you start becoming it. I have to stress that because Empire has done so much for the people, you as a vessel, to disregard the God within. And like I said, a lot of times we go through these combats and talking about, oh, well, this, that, but you don't really know. And this is why it's imperative to really take heed to this information and to do your own research. You can't combat what you've been, like I said, I'm not going to combat you, but I would like for you to research this information. Please research this information because they taught you to look outside of yourself and not realizing everything is within. There is no such thing as the devil or God, whatever like that, because you are both. You have free will to choose which way you want to go. If you want to live on, as they say, demon time and do evil, you would do that. I've said that in another time. If you want to do good, you're going to live in that energy and you do that. You are deciding. There's nothing else doing that. Okay? So that was the end of that lesson. And again, the lesson was lesson 23, which was the return of the serpent, reclaiming the coiled light. Now, the next lesson is going to be lesson 24, the anointing of the flame bearers, walking as living temples. And that will probably be the final lesson for the day until tomorrow. I'm going to try to get in tomorrow. That's why I try to get as much assignments in because it's the weekend. I'm going to pretty much really be with the kids. But if I'm able to probably get like maybe 1 or 2 assignments in, but I still want to keep you abreast with anything. So wait shortly and I will hit you back with the lesson 24. Again, that's the anointing of the flame bearers, walking as living temples. See you in a bit. Ashe.